It's oftentimes with my investments, I like to go over the numbers. I like to run revenue estimates, profitability estimates, and form that into a discounted cash flow analysis to get an estimate for where I think the company's share price is going to be or where I think it should be trading at sometime in the near future. But in this video, this is not a company that I want to be talking about the numbers, because as I'm scrolling through here, you can see many of the different companies that I invest in, many of the estimates and the big spreadsheets that I like to make these forecasts into the future. But going back to my portfolio tracker here, today is not a company that I want to be running these financial estimates on. I more so just want to focus on the business. The business is Crocs. I just doubled down on my position. I originally had 100 shares of this company, and I'm now doubled down to 200. If we hop over to my portfolio holdings, you'll see that this has changed dramatically since the last video that I posted, and I now have Salesforce still at number 1. I still have Amazon at my number 2, and in Switch, it was Google at 3rd place and Crocs at 4th, but those are now switched with Crocs making up the 3rd largest position in the portfolio, currently sitting right at about 20% of the growth portfolio. In this video, we're going to talk about a bunch of different collaborations and a lot of different opportunities for what Crocs has moving forward, and why I think that this business, despite its all-time record revenue that was just reported the other day, I think the numbers that we're going to be getting next quarter and next year and moving into the future are going to be better than we've ever seen before. And we're going to talk about this extremely low valuation of a ridiculously low 7 forward PE has so much opportunity for upside, and this horrible share price performance I think is going to go by the wayside in 2023. So if you haven't seen this before, if you want a quick investment idea, one that people typically don't think of, Crocs is not a stock that you would typically think of as an investment. Between collabs with Post Malone and Pokemon and KFC and 7-Eleven and all these different ones that we're going to go over, and then of course their other brand, Hey Dude, I'm going to talk about why I think this investment is a reasonable opportunity to double up my money, if not more. It's very rare that I see opportunities in the stock market where I can double my money in a short time frame in just a year or two. When I look at companies like Salesforce, like Amazon, like Google, they're long-term compounders that I expect to make 10-15% a year every single year, and I don't expect to double my money until I've invested in them for several years. With Crocs, this is not the case. It's very risky, but we're going to go over all the upside, and then the research report that just came out that made me decide to double down on my investment is all we're going to go over in this video. So if you appreciate the transparency, me showing my portfolio holdings, my portfolio balance, which my today's balance is right here is the time I'm filming, $36,500, and my performance year to date, which we'll be making a performance tracker here on this little spreadsheet, so I'll be showing that every video very soon as well. But check out all that stuff down below in the description, including the portfolios that I showcase, including my Crocs investment, but everything else as well. So if you want to check out all these holdings, check it out. That's down below in the description, and you can do that by getting signed up with One Finance, which now 130 of people have done so far, and you get $10 for doing so. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it if you subscribe if you find this video helpful. Without further ado, let's go into Crocs. It's a brand that has been growing. It's one that has become more popular ever since the pandemic, when people were stuck at home, and TikTok really helped blow this brand up. And the thing is with Crocs is that it appeals to pretty much all age and all genders. Now, I just looked up girl Crocs, and you can see that there's a lot of female versions of Crocs. There's a million different editions of Crocs, and the styles, and the colors, and the shapes, but pretty much you can see that it's really good for females, but it's also good for males. There's lots of male versions of Crocs that have different colors, and shapes, and sizes, and typically the males are a little bit more basic, but the cool part about this company is not just their everyday Crocs brand, just their simple colors and designs. What's really cool is their collaborations. If you look here, this is an article. This is not by Crocs. This is by GQ. This is a news publication. This is a collaboration with Post Malone. And here's what the title of the article says. Post Malone designed a pair of Crocs, and they sold out in 10 minutes. Now you might be thinking, okay, Post Malone, he's a big artist, he's a big rapper. Well, we're about to show you some big brands and some big unique collaborations that Crocs has had with many other companies, and nearly every single one of these that I'm going to show you has been sold out. So I know you like Post Malone, I know you like this collaboration, but there's more than just that. For example, this is actually coming, this is brand new, I don't think it's hit the market yet. They're coming out with a Pokemon collaboration. I think that should be coming out soon, and they'll have the little gibbets that go onto the Crocs, like here you see Pikachu. These are going to be coming out, and Pokemon has such an incredibly loyal fan base. I would not be surprised if these sell out within minutes. Pokemon is one of the most valuable brands in the world. We saw in 2020 how big they blew up with Pokemon cards and tradables and alike, right? Now let's go over here. What if you like Kentucky Fried Chicken, okay? Which, by the way, as you can see, these are already sold out. But just goofy little stuff like this with chicken and literally pieces of chicken that you can put on the shoes. They're more of a wow and a shock factor and just kind of a funny gimmick that you can buy people. What about 7-Eleven? Maybe you love the 7-Eleven store and they sold out once again, like all these others. They sold out, and then they have more coming on 11/7, which is not too far from now, just a couple of weeks. And you can put these funny little clips like the 7-Eleven logo and little food and drink items. And it's so cool, so funny and stupid. And then if you look like Lightning McQueen, apparently these were one of the most valuable collectibles that they had. If you look on shopping, apparently these are a collector's item now. But a lot of kids especially, but I guess even adults, like to wear these Lightning McQueen Crocs. And what about things like Jimmy Kimmel? You know, people that run their own shows, people that you would never think have a Crocs collaboration, of course have it. So there you go. There's also Disney collaboration. Disney's Hocus Pocus has its own version of Crocs, which a lot of kids, a lot of people will like Disney shows and will have collaboration with Crocs to just drive revenue to both companies. But the real opportunity here is not Crocs. I know you might be thinking, okay, Jordan, you just sold me for 10 minutes on these collaborations and all the popularity and all these big brands that can go together, including celebrities like Post Malone that can bring in different types of shoes and designs with Crocs. Why is this not the opportunity? The opportunity here is not with Crocs. The real opportunity is with Hey Dude. Now, why is that? Hey Dude, in my opinion, is one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn, and it's one of the only publicly acceptable shoes that can be worn in almost any environment. Now, I work at a tech company. I work at Paycom. They're a payroll, they're a software company, and they're very large. They're a public company. They're like a $15 billion business with thousands of employees, so I'm in the corporate world. So many females wear these type of shoes every single day. So many males, including myself, wear these type of shoes every single day. And even in the last 2 weeks, I had both my brother-in-law and my own boss at Paycom ask about these type of shoes. Now, it's not just that. I have people ask all the time. My friend, there's a friend of mine who recently introduced to me about a year ago. He was like, hey man, have you heard these shoes called Hey Dudes? They're super comfortable. And I bought some, and I freaking loved it. And the other day on Prime Day, we actually bought a second pair. I own this pair right here, and we just got a second one that actually kind of looks similar to this one. But there's so many different versions. You see how they're kind of separated between the top and the bottom. There's thousands of different colors and shapes and variations. And I think that this is the type of shoe that will become more popular because my generation that's coming up into the working field wants a more comfortable shoe, wants something that's a little bit more acceptable out in the public, but is comfortable, especially in a work from home environment. Now, this is more so targeted towards stuff like kids, like you see these little shoes here, but I still see a lot of young and adult people still wearing Crocs. So I don't know. But the thing is with the company, they did spend a lot of money buying out Hey Dude. You see the big jump up in debt here. They did spend about $2 billion in debt just to get this company brought onto its business. Now that said, I think that this debt pile is going to go away as the cash pile will continually eat away at that because this company is free cash flow positive. As last quarter, they produced $136 million in free cash flow and their revenue is skyrocketing now that the Hey Dude acquisition is finally closed. And I think it's very soon we're going to see our first $1 billion quarter, which is definitely far beyond what we were seeing in 2018, 2019, when their best quarters ever were about $350 million. So almost a triple up from what we were doing just a couple years ago. So this is a brand that is growing. It's growing in top line revenue, bottom line profitability, as you can see from its earnings per share, as you can see from its free cash flow. But at the end of the day, when you look at this valuation, it's a company that's valued at basically zero. Now, the average PE in the market, last time I checked, which if you don't know, that's price to earnings. It's almost like a number to basically summarize what a company's being valued at. You can see that the price to earnings ratio forward basis is about a 7. The average in the market, last time I checked, is about a 16, 17, last time I checked, somewhere around there. So you could take this company's share price, double it, and it would still be below the average in the market. If you double this share price, its forward PE is about a 14.5. At a 14.5, that's still below the average in the market, and this company is projecting a lot of growth. So if we hop over to M1 Finance and pull up the research tab here and type in CROX for Croc stock, you can see year to date it's down 39%. Year over year, it's down 41%. But on a 5-year basis, where the company really shines, you can see that it's up 713% because this is a company that has grown its brand and been very successful, and more importantly, improved those margins. So profitability for shareholders in the last several years have started to go through the roof. As you can see, return on capital employed last year was an astounding 59%. And then the gross, operating, and profit margins are on a continual uptrend. As you can see from these charts, the gross margin, record levels. Operating margin, record levels. Profit margin, record levels. You get the point. It's a company that I'm confident in, and I believe that all these brand and collaboration opportunities and the work from home / millennials coming into the workplace environment just boast an opportunity for this company exploding in share price. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to say this will happen, but I would not be surprised within the next couple of years this stock hitting $200+ a share. I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I may not even wait that long. I may not be in this company at that valuation, but at a 7 PE ratio, you got me along for the ride. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out all the stuff down below in the description if you didn't already, and get signed up with M1 Finance. Like 130 people have done so far, and get free $10 and help support the channel. I hope you found this helpful. This is a little bit of a different company. This is a little bit of a different video, but hopefully you found it helpful and you'd like to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.